Hey guys, Mike from Epoxy Creations again. I'm still having to hold off on the pour, but somebody, I can't remember who you are, I want to thank you very much. Hopefully I'm going to thank you very much. We're going to try this out for sure. He saw my drip removal system with the tape, and he told me that I could use Johnson paste wax to go ahead and he said the drips will just come right off. So I am making a shingle for my customer's house. Now, for all you youngins, a shingle is something people used to hang out in front of their business. It's their little sign, and they used to do it on a shingle back in the way back. So if this is going to be sitting in her front yard, we're going to mimic her counter, and then I'm going to be putting some vinyl lettering on it as an advertisement. And instead of just having a sign saying, hey, we did a counter, they're going to be able to see what this looks like. Now, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to mimic. This is what the customer approved. She wanted white with not a lot of veining in it. This is going to be done with Stone Coat white metallic and a little bit of the gray metallic that they have as an undertone. And then she'd liked us to have some of this, you can see the pearl afterwards, as a vein. She really liked that. So that's what we're going to try to recreate here. It's a great test run for me. Before we actually get into doing the full pour, just make sure. Now, when I do these things, what I do is I put my formulas on the back. So obviously we got white primer, Stone Coat 10, which is your white metallic. That's what I named it. And then Stone Coat 1 undertone, which is our silver metallic. So that's my formula. Now I'm going to take this Johnson's wax here. I don't really know how I'm supposed to apply it, but I'm assuming if I take it on a rag, this is almost like shoe polish, and I'm going to go ahead and coat these edges down with it. And I'd like to get this, the reason why I'm doing this today is because if this works like the gentleman suggested it would, then I will prep all the pour for the main job with this stuff. If it doesn't work, I don't have to sand down much. I didn't lose anything, and I'll tape down all my sides. But I got a couple of days till my pour, so I'll have a really good feel of where we're going with this. So I think I'm going to be a little overzealous with this. I don't want to put too little and it doesn't work. So I'm going to put a nice little coat. It's got a good shine. I'm going back like 4 inches. I probably don't have to, but hey, I am. All right, so after the pour, we'll come back. We'll do a video of the pour when I'm ready to do my pour. And then after it's all said and done, tomorrow, after it's cured, I'll see if the drips just pop off like the gentleman suggested. If not, hey, I got a nice wooden table upstairs I can wax down with this, and I'm not out 20 bucks. All right, let's see what happens. All right, so I'm going to get ready to mix up my epoxy to do this shingle. The board is 24 inches by 21 inches. So how much epoxy am I going to have to mix up? Here we go. 24 inches times 21 inches is 504. Divided by 144 inches, which is 1 square foot, gives me 3.5 square feet. It takes 3 ounces of epoxy per square foot times 3, gives me 10.5. That's how much I'm going to need for my base. Now, right here, this is a gradient of 1-to-1 mix ratio. All right, I'm going to do a 3-to-3. It's going to put me at right around 14 ounces. I need 10.5 for my base coat, and then I'm going to pour out a couple of this ounces here, get it back down to 12 ounces, add my white metallic from Stone Coat. That's going to be giving me my base, and it's also going to give me my white metallic veins that the customer wants. I'm going to have the extra couple ounces that I can do my deep silver metallic, which I'm going to be using for my undertone. This is what we're trying to attain. You can see the undertone of the grays And then you can see the pearlescent veins that the customer wants in her counter. All right, and I think that's pretty well mixed up. I like it. So, let's pour it out. As you can see, I went ahead and built dams with the tape around my edges. This is going to do a couple of things for me. It's going to go ahead and prevent all my epoxy from running off right away. And the other thing it's going to do is, with that rounded edge, when I screw this all the way to the edge, I'm going to leave this tape on for like an hour. Then I'll go ahead and pull it off. And we'll be able to let it roll over our edges without just running away. It helps to keep, it helps your edges have more buildup on it. Because the longer this stuff sits, the thicker it gets. So we want to get it thick. Now I went ahead and I took a 2-foot level across this board, and I got it really close to level. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be close. If I notice that it's really running one way, I'll go ahead and try to trick it out a little bit more with something, but right now, it looks like it's doing okay. So, I'm going to try to work this center as good as possible. Get it right to the edge. I don't have to push it off because it's going to work its own way over. Now, the reason why we go ahead and we offer bull noses free of charge to the customer, and we actually encourage it, is because we get to build this dam. So now you got all this epoxy filling up in that bull nose. And after you wait that hour or so to pull your tape off, you got this big, thick part of epoxy, thick epoxy sitting in that dam. And it'll really help with having more on your edges. Because we all know the edges is the hardest part to get. And I'm just going ahead, I'm taking it all right up to my edge. There we go. Now, go ahead and scrape some of this off. There we go. Take that off to the side. I have plenty of pearl to do my veins. I also have enough pearl in here that I can go ahead and prime my rag for chopping. I'll go grab a rag. So they use brushes. I don't like them. I've never gotten a bristle out of this. So I'm gonna prime my rag. And let's chop away. This white metallic is gorgeous. She wanted a quartz kind of look, and she was really upset at how much it was going to cost her to get actual quartz. So when I told her I could mimic it and make it the way she wants it, she was very, very excited. We're probably doing this job for about $1,700 less than if she had gotten a quartz countertop. So we're saving the customer money, and they're very happy about that. Look at that, that is gorgeous. Now we're also hopefully going to have the customer here for the full pour, and that's one of the things I like to offer to my customers if they so choose. That way, if I go and I put some veins in, like, oh, it's a little too strong, or hey, I would like a little bit more, or can you put something here? Then I have the availability to do that, okay? So let me get another rag, wipe my hand off. chopped it all up. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with the heat gun. So the heat gun's gonna help it flow. It's gonna help get rid of bubbles. You want to keep it moving. You don't want to keep it in one spot. You're going to burn up your product if you do that. Not a good idea. All right. Now, while I'm waiting on that to chill out, I'm going to go ahead and put my mist back on. Because now I got to make up some of my deep silver metallic. I got a small cup for this. I'm saving this extra because if I need something, I need more gray, or if I need more pearl, I have some clear to just roll with. I know I'm not going to use a lot of gray in this. And the other thing is, if I have extra epoxy, you know I got ring molds laying around. So I can always add some more colors. So we're not going to do a lot of this. I mean, it's very little. In fact, I didn't even take the whole thing. Because she doesn't want a lot of vein. But she wanted something that just straight white would have been too much. So I'm going to really try to mix this up. Now that I'm not on the powder. Because it's warm up in here. This room is probably, what, 75? Mm-hmm. Easy? Which is great for epoxy. All right. Now, I had asked my customer when I went to do templating, do you want veins going long ways? You want them going up and down? And she just had no idea. Which is another reason why if she's here when we pour, it'll be great. And I got another trick for you when we do the full pour. I'll save that for then. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just take and drizzle this a little bit. All right. She doesn't want a lot. She wants some color in there. All right. And now I'm going to do what I call, and I don't know what everyone else calls it, but I call it undertoning. So I'm going to go ahead and take my chop rag again. I'm going to take this stuff, because she doesn't want it bold. And I'm going to chop it down into the white. So it'll give a little bit of accent without being overpowering. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just chop everything again now. Just because this will bring just a hair of that gray throughout. It will make it so that those veins don't just jump at you. You're not really going to notice it in the rest. Okay. And they're kind of fading away, which is what she wants. Okay. And ultimately, I'm trying to make the customer happy. So, I'm going to go ahead and give that a minute. Then I'm going to hit it with the heat gun again. But you see how much that chopping it in, it took those deep, dark gray veins, and now it's just like a faint undertone, okay? When I hit this with the heat gun again, this marbling action will kind of fail out, okay? Then we're going to wait a little while longer. And I am running a little bit this way, so I'm going to lift this board up a hair and just help it run this way a hair. I'm probably going to have to put another little stipe under that. That's all right, though. All right, so let me get this heat gun again. I always make sure I get my heat gun to get up to temp before I hit it. See, now I'm going to go ahead and rub this into my trowel. What I got going on here. And I probably will, not might, I will come back later and I'm going to take the leftover, the pearl, and I'm going to just run it right along those edges so I can build up a nice amount of epoxy on my edges before I pull. You can see, I don't know if you can see those bubbles, but I can see those bubbles popping. I don't know, babe, can you catch where this is filling up along the edges here? I'm making sure that I go ahead and I want to make sure I get these edges nice and primed. Because we want to let this stuff be able to run over. Okay. Go ahead and just squeeze out a little bit of my rag over here. Right along these edges. Get that nice and primed. Now, if I had put a little bit too much gray on my undertone, if it stood out too tall, like right here, it's a little tall, just run a little bit more of your white on top of it. Bury it, you know? Just taking this off the rag that I was chopping with. Okay. And we, of course, you know, when we put in our contract, it's like we are going to try to replicate to the best of our ability. Okay. You can never make it. You can never make it exactly the same. Each one is totally individual. Now, the other thing that when I drip that on there, you can see some of this pearlescent vein going on over here. Okay. But I'm going to put some more bolder. See how I have those bold veins right there? You can see the transition. She liked that. So I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes. We'll come back and I'll drop some of that in. All right, so I got about 13 minutes left of work time. And these veins are a lot lighter than what I got here. So what can I do to fix that? I'm just going to chop them back down. I'm going to chop that down and get that hidden under that white pearl or white metallic. I'm sorry, I did a lot of body work and this was a pearlescent in body, so, but we're going to chop that down. Now I'm also going to go ahead and take and put some of this. She wanted that nice pearl vein going on. I'm just going to drag this around. Now, I'm not going to get too crazy with this. It's a small piece, but, you know, this is another thing. I hope she's here for it. If she wants it thicker, she wants it thinner, she wants more, she wants less. Okay? So we'll just drop that, and maybe we'll put one on the edge here. Oh, there we go, Bob Ross again. And put one there. So, like I said, I'm trying to mimic this to the best of my ability. Actually, I don't think I'm going to chop that. I think I'm just going to blow those around a little bit. Now this is going to settle out. A lot of this metallic's going to fall. As you can see, it fell a lot here. But I am going to chop, even though I blew those veins a little bit, I'm going to give them a little chop. I'm going to be specific with my chop, because it looks a little too artificial, and I'm not a big fan of the artificial. So, of course, Mother Nature doesn't do it artificial. Why should I? All right, and then this guy here. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and you can see these dams. Look at these dams. Look at all that epoxy that we got sitting in this dam, okay? And that's gonna be awesome. I think I'm actually gonna wait like an hour and a half before I pull it. It'll still be moving, and I'll get much better edges, I think. But I'll go ahead and blow it again. It's probably this most likely will be my last blow. Oh my God, epoxy on it. Hey, you know what? Cheap guns, heat guns are pretty cheap. Cheap guns. So if it gets too jacked up, you know, buy a new one. All right, so here we go. See a nice chunk here I don't want. Get that high dollar pick out again. It's a really nice Carrera look, I think. But it's not what I think, it's what she thinks. Alright, that heat gun. Take the rest of my chop rag here. I'm going to squeeze this stuff out as best I can and just run it down the edge. I really want a big dam here. All right, I'm not getting much out of that, but I have more of this. So let's just really fill this dam, because you're going to lose so much when it rolls over. And plus, me adding to this dam very well might change the whole appearance of the edging, because now you got different pores of the metallic. You know, those dams are pretty good. Now, I don't have too much of this left, but we're still gonna go play with rings.